Thank you, everybody, for being here. My name is Dan Markwell. I am an alumni of College of DuPage, a former trustee, and a member of the 2024 Distinguished Alumni class. And I'm honored to be here this morning for the 5 Under 5 Awards with all of you. The 5 Under 5 Awards recognize 5 recent College of DuPage alumni who've left COD within the past 5 years and have made significant contributions to their community, field of study, and professions. Each student will be introduced by a mentor or leader in their field of study, and once each of the students has received their award this morning, we'll open the panel up for a little bit of Q&A. So to get things started, I'd like to introduce Dr. Mudassir Siddiqui. Dr. Siddiqui became the 8th president of College of DuPage on July 1st, 2025, bringing with him more than 2 decades of experience of leadership in both higher education and the corporate sector. A proud COD alumnus himself with his 2 sons, he's deeply committed to advancing equity, strengthening workforce development, and ensuring students are prepared to thrive in today's evolving economy. Prior to his appointment, Dr. Siddiqui held senior leadership roles at the Houston Community College System, as well as one of our sister colleges here in Illinois, where he led initiatives in student success, innovation, and community engagement. Please help me welcome Dr. Siddiqui.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much for introduction, and good morning to everyone here. I can tell you first thing at the outset, there is nothing more delightful or encouraging for us at COD, whether it's faculty, faculty, staff, administrator, than seeing our students successful in their personal and professional lives. So this is a moment of joy for us here at COD, celebrating our student success. Today we honor 5 recent alumni who have distinguished themselves over a period of time. To Aya, who's Aya? Aya, Isabel, Keith, Qasim, and Tiffany. Your leadership is providing inspiration. We are grateful that you choose College of DuPage for your education, and we celebrate your accomplishment today, which are built upon the foundation you created at College of DuPage. Helping us celebrate this event, this occasion, this moment of joy, are our faculty and staff who are here today to share this moment of joy. This reflects their deep commitment to student success that does not end when a student graduates and leaves College of DuPage or transfer or enter the workforce. I'm grateful to everyone at COD who provides this kind of ongoing support. It's what makes COD a truly special place in our community. I also want to thank the family who are here, family members and friends who continue to show their support as your journey begins. So you must say thanks to your family members. So on behalf of college, congratulations on everything you are doing. As your stories continue to be written, please make sure to stay engaged with College of DuPage. Now we need your help. We look forward to seeing you, what you do next in your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Siddiqui. Next, I'd like to introduce Deborah Conroy. A proud COD alum herself, she was elected to the DuPage County Board in 2022 after a decade of service in the Illinois State House of Representatives. In her role, she has focused on strengthening community services, from supporting mental health initiatives to enhancing local resources like food pantries and housing programs. Chair Conroy is committed to fostering a strong, resilient community where residents have access to the support and opportunities they need. Chair Conroy.
lower that a little bit. Good morning. What a great day in DuPage County. We are so lucky to be here honoring this impressive group of recent College of DuPage graduates who are already showing the rest of us how to get things done. In addition to being a former College of DuPage student myself, I am a true believer in the community college system. COD provides a vital pathway to success in higher education. It opens doors to career readiness. We can see through the achievements of this particular group of 5 under 5 honorees that the educational environment here at the College of DuPage is lights on fire. It serves as a catalyst for change, for innovation, and for new initiatives. The college plays an important role in our community, involving and stepping in to meet the needs of our changing student population, ensuring our residents are prepared for the demands of today and tomorrow. When I attended COD, when dinosaurs were roaming the world, the earth, my dreams for my future solidified. Mind you, at the time, I certainly did not see a future as a political and government leader. It came much later. But I did find my voice as a student and as a future artist, and most importantly, as a person who wanted to lend my talents to making my community stronger and maybe a little more beautiful. Some things never change. We can see that our honorees were similarly inspired by their education, their families and their friends and their teachers to make their community, their futures, and the futures of others bigger and more brighter and beautiful. You will hear this today a lot. I am extremely proud of each of you. I'm sure you'll not only hear that from me, but from many others in your life. So I hope you internalize this message, truly, and use the positive energy coming from your way as fuel for your next project. We can't wait to see what you achieve. Congratulations, and thank you for all you are, all you do, and all you will become.
All right, now for the fun part. To present our first honoree, we're honored to welcome Sonia Watson, Dean of Adjunct Faculty Support, an award-winning higher education leader, and a nationally recognized advocate for faculty development, innovation, and student success.
Dan's really tall. Good morning. I'm Dr. Sonia Watson, and just like Deb, I also attended COD when the dinosaurs roamed. Please join me in congratulating one of this year's 5 under 5 honorees, Isabel Giraldo. Isabel graduated from COD in 2020 with high honors and an associate in arts degree. During her time here, her academic excellence was recognized when her paper on the impact of COVID-19 on the Illinois trucking industry was published in the Illinois Geographer. Her professional journey is equally impressive. Isabel has held leadership roles in transportation safety and compliance, and in April 2024, she achieved becoming a safety investigator with the Federal Motor Career Safety Administration. After completing her training at FMCSA Academy in Washington, D.C., Isabel graduated with honors and now proudly serves as a federal agent. Outside her career, she stays very busy from raising her daughter while also pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Urban and Regional Planning at Arizona State University. She's an outstanding example of resilience, talent, and commitment, and we're so proud to celebrate her today. Please welcome Isabel Giraldo.
All right, thank you. Next, please join me in welcoming Susan Fenwick, a STEM student success coach whose dedication to student achievement shines through in the accomplishments of our second honoree.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you Aya Jabi. Aya attended COD from the infamous spring 2020 semester through fall 2021, taking classes for her Associate of Science degree. She flourished in her honors classes, was selected for the prestigious STEM scholarship program, achieved a high honors GPA, and earned herself admission to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign for their Bachelor of Science degree in food science. Aya continued to excel in her classes at U of I, earning her bachelor's degree and moving on to a master's degree in food science, which she will complete this spring. Over the years, Aya has worked on exciting projects in multiple labs, contributing to the creation of nutritious, sustainable, and accessible food for the world. Aya clearly excels in academics, but she truly shines when it comes to her character and care for others. She has always made an effort to reach out to others, be encouraging, supportive, and compassionate. She has filled the roles of mentor, ambassador, teacher, guest speaker, panelist, and more, always with kindness and grace. Quite a few of those roles were right here at COD as recent as last spring when Aya was a guest lecturer for our Women in STEM mentorship program. We are so thankful for how Aya has contributed to the COD community over the past 5 years, and I know she will continue finding ways to encourage others and share her love of the sciences because that is where her heart is. Congratulations on this well-deserved award, Aya.
Please welcome Management Professor Jane Martaw, whose decades of HR and management expertise help prepare the next generation of professionals as she introduces our next honoree.
I'm going to try to do this, to raise this a little taller, right? I'm going to try to do this without tears. As I introduce Tiffany to you today, introducing her is best told through a story. In mid-2020, I received a phone call from someone named Tiffany Payne who said, "Do you think I could transition into an HR career from several years in hospitality?" You see, 2020 was what? A pandemic that had furloughed all of those workers. And here was an individual looking to make a career change. She had heard about our HR certificate program. She enrolled, and she completed it 6 months later. And then another phone call came, and she said, "Do you think that I could take a bit of coursework from an earlier college time and add it to my COD coursework and complete an associate's degree?" And she did. And then the third phone call said, "Can you help me map how do I get to Aurora University for a bachelor's in business?" And she did. And the fourth phone call, you get the idea here, right? I usually get "Jane, I have to talk to you about something that might be goofy." And to me, I just smile because I know something big is coming from this HR rising star. That fourth phone call was, "I want to sit for the Society of Human Resource Management National Certified Professional Exam." And she did. And she passed it on the first try. And all of this is happening while she's completing an internship with a manufacturing company in HR. That's not an easy work environment. And then she went to Superior Ambulance, and 2 of her managers are with her here today. And it has been so exciting for me watching the HR career blossom as she's been promoted and grown with Superior. There was another phone call that came, and she's on the cusp of choosing between which graduate school to go to for a master's in HR. But then I decided it was time for me to make a phone call. And my phone call said, "Come work with us." Dwight Klein in the blue shirt is also on our COD HR faculty team. "Come work with us as a mentor for our current students. Be involved with informational interviews, and most importantly, be one of our HR professionals, because that's who you are now, and come in and help us with our students' capstone presentations." And she has done that for a couple of years. In fact, she'll be with me in the classroom on October 15th and helping me kick off this semester's capstone project and serve on a panel with another alum as they answer questions for those who were looking to, or who were asking that same question, can I transition into a career in HR? Tiffany, the answer to your question from mid-2020 is yes. You can make a transition from a hospitality career into HR management. You have done that. And I can't wait to answer the phone calls that are to come over her next 5 years. This is Tiffany Payne.
We are also pleased to welcome Andrea Polites, Associate Professor and Human Services Program Co-Chair, who draws on her experience guiding future human services professionals as she introduces our next honoree.
Thank you, Dan. I'd like to introduce Keith Perna. He's what you call, or what we call, a non-traditional student, which is interesting because I wish everybody was a non-traditional student like Keith. I met him several years ago. He came into our inaugural Certified Recovery Support Specialist Certificate Program, and he was nothing short of amazing. He's the student you can count on to rescue you from that deafening silence where somebody says something and Keith would jump in with an answer, with a question. He was supportive of his students. He was engaged. He kept me on my toes as a faculty member. I wish everybody was as inspiring as Keith is as a student. He graduated in 2024 and has gone on to do some work for his Certified Addiction Counseling degree. He has several projects that he works on. He's in Celebrate Recovery. He's in Bridge to Life, which works with the homeless in Chicago. He's with NAMI doing support groups. And he sits on our Certified Recovery Support Specialist Advisory Board. So we're keeping him very engaged, having him talk to classes, engage with our students. He's curious, he's passionate, he's compassionate. I have to limit it to a minute. I could talk all day about Keith. But I want you to see that all of these traits come together to form this wonderfully kind, compassionate person in the helping profession. Keith Perna.
Finally, please welcome Tom Carter, Professor Emeritus of Physics with over 25 years at COD, whose passion for science continues to inspire students as he introduces our final honoree.
I don't need the microphone, okay. I'd like to introduce someone that I'm proud to have been my student and that I think COD will be proud to have as an alum. Qasim Sikander. Qasim was here as a chemical engineer, pretty doggone tough, demanding major, but he had an outstanding academic record. He won the demanding STEM Scholarship Award, but more than just studying and getting his grades, he was worried about his fellow students, and he was a mentor, he was a teacher, he was an educator. When he transferred to Urbana, he continued his outstanding academic performance. He won the Gorman Award for outstanding undergraduate research in chemistry. And he, again, continued to help his fellow students by being a tutor, by being an educator, by being an assistant, right? But it's when he graduated with his degree in chemistry that Qasim's role as worrying about his fellow man, being concerned about his fellows, really showed up when he applied and was accepted into the medical school at Urbana. You can't ask for much more than that. And even then, even now, as he's studying medicine. He's acting as a mentor and an educator to his fellow students. So I'd like to sort of sum up Qasim's life and how he feels by reading a quote that he sent to us when he was replying to the fact that we were notifying him that he'd been nominated for an award. When I'm not talking medicine in an auditorium, I'm seeing patients or I'm in the lab hunting new cancer therapies. I don't think you could ask much more from an individual. I'd like to congratulate Qasim Sikander.
All right, thank you and congratulations to all of our honorees. I think we're going to do a little bit of Q&A now. So I think one of you has a microphone. All right, so I think that there are some papers scattered around that have some seed questions if anybody wants to start thinking of one. But to start you guys off, I'll have each of you answer this in whatever order you would like. But where are you now? What are you doing? And how do you feel that College of DuPage has helped prepare you for your career path?
So I'm Isabel Giraldo. I work for the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. That's the agency under DOT that regulates the trucking industry and commercial motor vehicles. The purpose of my role is to prevent fatalities and crashes that occur on the roadways with these large vehicles. And I've been very successful in my first year and a half in the role, and I do attribute my online education with College of DuPage as being a really good basis, a foundation for how I work and work independently. I had to learn to be self-sufficient. I was no longer in a physical classroom anymore with somebody looking over me and seeing how I'm doing. I had, and I'm not saying I didn't have access to all the resources of my professors and the teachers and the support systems that are established here, but that was my safety net to really allow me to develop as an individual self-sufficiently, to understand the assignment, understand the instructions, produce the work that they're looking for, and that's really made me very successful in my career field.
So, hello everyone. My name is Jabi. I'm a master's student at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. I started at the College of DuPage in 2020, so you can imagine how my first semester was. I was also I started in spring, so that made it a little bit harder. And as a scientist, I think the thing that I was most concerned about is lab experience and benchtop. I wanted actual benchtop experience, and I thought I'd miss on that. My first 2 years of COD, I was maybe I just won't get any lab experience, and thankfully that was not the case. COD was great at providing all the opportunities to virtual labs, and even in the midst of COVID, we came on campus. I think Qasim and I were in one class. I was only 9 people in the class, but we still made it to the lab. We still got lab experience, and that all got me to where I am right now. So what I work on right now is I do thesis. So my thesis is, my research actually is in fat microencapsulation. So I make basically bulk fat into powders that could encapsulate important nutrients that can be incorporated into foods. And as we might know, so many foods nowadays, so many people have special diets, so they might miss out on so many important nutrients, and everybody eats. So if we're missing out on nutrients, and if we don't keep in mind all those people who need specific nutrients, I think that's something very important to consider, and it inspires me to continue more. So starting from virtual labs to actually going to U of I and doing graduate research was a very, very inspiring start for me, and it would have not been possible without the help here at COD. So yes, that's a little bit of me.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany Payne. I am the HR Generalist at Superior Ambulance. We are the largest private ambulance company in the Midwest. And I promise after this, you guys will see our ambulances everywhere. Without fail, it just happens like that. We operate in 5 different states. I will truly, truly always be thankful to the College of DuPage. Coming from the hospitality industry and starting to take classes and be a student again was something that was terrifying for me, if I'm being honest. And COD really gave me the confidence to keep going, and that I am smart, and that I can accomplish, pretty much anything I set my mind to. And yeah. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Keith Perna. I am a CRSS, which is a Certified Recovery Support Specialist. Been working at NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness. I am a graduate here from College of DuPage. I want to just thank College of DuPage on behalf. I could not have done this without my beautiful wife, Andrea Politis, all the faculty. My current role is I'm doing an internship now. So I went on after I finished my CRSS. I sat for the state exam, passed it on the first time, thanks to the wonderful curriculum here at College of DuPage. And Andrea, you taught me how to be confident in this role. You taught me how to take care of myself in this role. You taught me how to be honest and know my own limitations with the clients that I work with, and to make sure that mental health has a voice in our community. And I think that's so important today because there's so many people that are hurting, right? And I get a chance to be a part of a wonderful journey of watching people recover, whether it be from substance use or mental health or a combination co-occurring disorder. And to be a part of that journey and to be a part of the people that come to life and get to see that there's options, that there's resources here within our community. So right now I'm doing an internship at the Way Back Inn, which is a recovery home located in Maywood. It's a residential 3.1 level of care treatment for residential clients that come in. We also have intensive outpatient and outpatient. We help these clients finding jobs. We help them navigate their recovery journeys. We help them find community resources, and we walk with them on the path to this journey. And it is an amazing reward. And I cannot thank College of DuPage has just made this whole process such a seamless and wonderful process. And I am proud and honored and just humbled to be here with you all. And thank you.
I'm Qasim Sikander. I currently attend medical school at the Carle, Illinois College of Medicine, which is on the Urbana-Champaign campus and the U of I system. My journey from COD was it wasn't a linear journey, let's just call it that. COD gave me a lot of the flexibility that I needed to explore a lot of my interests, but something I knew is I was always interested in science. So I ended up, one of my first classes was with Dr. Carter, who is here today, who taught me physics. And so I was in the fall of 2019, so just before IA started. But I went through a similar transition in the spring of 2020. I remember, I'm pretty sure it was like March 17th or something. I remember actually, because I was like, it's not going to happen. And then March 17th came and it happened. Okay. But it's so difficult to forget. I remember distinctly Dr. Carter was a whiteboard guy, and on Blackboard, we didn't use Zoom, it was on Blackboard. Dr. Carter had a whiteboard in his house, and he was still teaching us on his whiteboard. And just that work ethic, it was so inspiring. Not just Dr. Carter, but also my chemistry professor, who unfortunately can't be here today. And then also Susan. I don't want to steal too much of her spotlight because she's here for another. But I mean, she clearly very multifaceted, and she helped me navigate a lot of mental health issues that I had while I was here. She was my coordinator on while I was on the STEM scholarship. She helped me, what's the word I'm looking for? Secure internships while I was here. And so just a lot of professional and mental development happened at COD through like a very diverse support group. So when I got the email to apply for this, or that I was nominated, I was like, as a medical student, there's like so much on your plate. But I was like, this is important to me. This was very important to me. So, I put all that stuff down for a day or two, came up with thoughtful responses, and I'm very honored to be here today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Show of hands, do we have any questions from the audience? Not everybody at once.
What advice do you have?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Are you planning to me?
Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
What advice do you have for students, if you could give them advice?
You get out of your education what you put into it. So everyone's experience is going to be different. I wanted to, when I took a course in a particular subject, I wanted to be able to talk about what I learned from an educated perspective from that course. I wanted to get my money's worth out of the education. And if you don't have the same care, if you're just there to get credit, to get a paper at the end of your degree that says you know this, you're not going to have the same outcome, and you're probably going to be disappointed with your education. But I think we are all proud of our educations because we made the most of it.
That's a great advice. I would say never, sometimes the biggest growth comes from stepping into the unknown. So although the path might not seem clear, although that, things might not be very sorted out. Like you might hear people saying, I want to go to that school, transfer there, get this major, get that degree, get that job. I had people like that, and I was like, wait, I don't even know where will I transfer next or something. So that's totally okay. It's actually a very nice opportunity to learn more through the process. And sometimes beginnings are just opportunities and not setbacks. So yeah.
I would say relax, take a deep breath. Kind of similar to what they say, everybody has their own journey. Whether you take one class a semester or 4 classes a semester. Do it at your own pace, do it at your own availability. Sometimes I feel like we need to put so much on our plates to be successful or to have these accomplishments, but you can still accomplish those things by taking just one class and still being able to be present in your life and be present for your family. So relax. It's all going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
If I had any advice to give to any of the new students that are coming in, especially if it's part of this CRSS program, is our community needs a voice, right? And we get to be a part of that voice. The students get to be a part of that voice. One of the wonderful things about College of DuPage is that you get a chance to share your own lived experience, not only with your teachers and your instructors, but my advice to the new students would be participate in your class, do the discussion boards as they ask you to do, turn in your assignments. Be engaged and stay committed to this, because the end result is you are going to impact people's lives in so many different ways that we can't even imagine. We just can't even imagine. And if you're in Andrea's class, definitely keep your camera on if you're on a Zoom. Because she will ask you to keep your camera on. So, it's just a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Kind of similar to Aya and Tiffany said. It's okay to be flexible, and I think that COD really allows you to do that. Relax in your classes. Like if you take one class or take 4 classes, you can't do that at every university, right? And so COD is, I think, a really special place where you can do that, and you have a lot of flexibility to explore your interests, where you can step into the unknown without horrifying repercussions of now I need to be in school for 3 more years because I had a change of heart. COD allows you to explore so much more without, I guess, delaying your goals, which even that was 3 years, something else I would, kind of similar to the being flexible thing, as like an 18-year-old, come on, we expect 18-year-olds to know what they want to do. I mean, come on. So yeah, it's okay if you don't have a clear idea of where you're going. Yeah.
Thank you. Now we'll jump up to the third row. Sorry.
That's all right. Hindsight being perfect, if you could go back and give your COD student self one message, what would it be?
You're holding the mic.
Okay. I would tell myself not to be so nervous. I actually just posted a picture of this on my Instagram the other day. But I remember taking a picture of, we were virtual, so I had my little makeshift desk set up, and I remember being so nervous to hit join Zoom. I wasn't around anybody. I was in my house by myself, and I don't know why I was just so terrified just to hit join Zoom. So I would go back and tell myself that it's fine, everything's gonna be fine, and hit join Zoom.
I would say be more grateful to your mother, who is here. Yeah, my mom is here. Beautiful and very kind woman in the beautiful green dress. She supported me throughout my 2 years at COD. While I was on Zoom, she would come in from, are you in class? She would come in from the side and bring me dinner, bring me lunch. I was just at the time, you kind of expect these kinds of things. But now, having moved to university away from home and having to do all these things by myself, and sometimes even forgetting to eat because I'm so busy, and I say, oh yeah, I forgot to have dinner. Now it's 11 p.m. and I'm starving, and so yeah, I would say that. Thank you. I love you.
Yeah, sure. No, just make it. You're just passing the mic. Yeah. No. Oh, thank you. I would say that's a very good point, Qasim, actually, because we also both moved to the same campus. So I think at the time when I was living with my family, I didn't see that. Of course, I love my family and everything, and I maybe did not notice all those little details that matter, and how their care actually takes away a lot of the stress and a lot of the thought that I have to put into things food was an actual, especially as a food scientist, we work on foods and come back home and think about food again is too much sometimes. Yeah, but another point that I want to add is I think if I were to go back and tell my younger self something, I would say that it's gonna be okay. Don't stress too much about things, or don't think that the world is out of opportunities or something. At some point, it kind of felt like it. Not gonna lie, I was maybe I just won't get an internship before I graduate. Maybe it's too late. Especially as a food scientist, starting in a non-traditional way too, because our classes are very specific. So I was okay, if I don't get the experiences before I actually go to the field, then I might not get a job. And that was not the case, actually. So if I were to go back and tell myself this, it would just relieve so much of the stress. But yeah, that's my thing. What's good? Sure. I
would tell myself to meet people. I was online, and I am an introvert, and I was very comfortable with not having to communicate with anybody unless I had to. And so I didn't make any connections with any of the faculty here, which I didn't think was a problem until I was nominated for the top 5 under 5, and I needed to pick somebody to introduce me who knew me well, and I didn't know a single person. So thank you, Julie, for helping me connect with somebody. Again, you get out of your education what you put into it.
I would say if I had to go back and tell myself anything, it would be, well, the little bit of anxiety that you feel, I'm pretty sure all the other students in my class are pretty much feeling the same way. And especially in my ethics class with Andrea, it was like, I felt like another assignment. Okay, I thought we just did one. So it was like, okay, but it kept me on my toes, and I kept having to research things and look for certain things and write down the things that I thought applied, and just being able to have my wife by my side to kind of nudge me in the right direction and say, you're going to be okay. I've seen people go through this. She works in the education department, and she worked with Chicago Public Schools. So she kind of kept giving me nudges. Just relax. You'll be okay. Just get on your Zoom thing, open up your books, and you'll be fine. And I'm like, but you do realize that this is a lot. I'm not used to this. So I think I would tell myself to relax, have faith in the process. And, my wife and Andrea, you taught me to believe in myself here at College of DuPage. And that's something that was a struggle for me in my own recovery, was to believe that I could excel and I could do things. So, yeah, thank you so much.
I got it. I'll let Walter go.
So, thinking about this from my own journey, I remember after I was out of college, out of college in my career, and that thing came along that it hit me, I'm prepared for this. I got this, and I could relate it back to something that came out of my education. Share if you had that moment and what it was and why you felt prepared.
I know exactly what it is. So I sat for the SHRM certificate, and I knew I was confident in my HR ability and my HR knowledge, but it's a very big test. You have to go to a testing center. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And I was very nervous. It's a big deal. So I remember sitting at my desk in the testing center, and I started going through the first 4 or 5 questions, and I'm like, oh, I got this. I truly, truly know this stuff. And it was a lot of my coursework from my certificate program. It's a lot of the basics of HR, the HR 101s. And as I moved through the test, my confidence just grew and grew, and I'm like, all right, this is nice, yeah, it was truly, truly a lot of, my coursework, from my certificate program.
I would say, because I was, as I mentioned before, food science is very specific. I didn't have a food science class here that was very, very specifically about food science. However, the experiences here were, invaluable. I really could not, it was not only one class, it was not only one, category of things, it was everything that prepared me into who I am right now. For example, the science classes that I mentioned before, the mentorship that I got, Susan, thank you so much. She actually was one of the most, or actually the most, I don't want to say one of the most, impactful mentor. She just continued mentoring me until this moment, and I always feel I always want to share with her the happy moments and everything. And knowing that there is always someone there to cheer me up and celebrate my success made me feel like I'm ready for anything. That's one side. The other thing is also the leadership program. So imagine in the middle of COVID, you're not meeting with anyone, but there was a random opportunity for a peer mentorship program. And I was like, maybe let me join. I think I joined my last semester, and I had a mentee that was an international student. And believe it or not, that opened the door for a lot of leadership experiences that came later. And it made me discover this side of myself that I never actually thought I had, which is mentorship, being an ambassador. So I was a transfer ambassador after I transferred to U of I. And I met so many transfers from the College of DuPage. So at U of I, we have so many, like maybe per semester, let's say like 900 transfers per semester. So I was one of 12 students that were ambassadors for that whole group. And I found myself one day on the stage in front of like 300 people. And I was like, wait, how did I get here? Like, like COVID was last year. Like, how is that even a thing? And it was all through, the experiences I had here. So yeah, sometimes you never know. I mean, as you mentioned, like experiences like that just prepare you, and you find yourself like on the spot and like ready for it. So yeah. I'm gonna go next.
Everyone's referencing 2020, spring of 2020, so I'll put in this as well. So I was a student before that, and that was my final semester. I graduated in 2020, and everything hit. And again, I was an independent online student, and I just followed the instructions. I had the rubrics, and whenever I took a course or we had an assignment to write about, put in the discussion group, your research or your input on this, or we're going to learn about this. Like, I have the preconception of, I think I know what this is, and I want to write about what I know, but that's not the challenge. The challenge was what the professor wanted me to learn and research, and then I, push myself out of my comfort zone of, no, do it the right way, research what they're talking about, produce what they're looking for, and adapt to like outside of your comfort zone, outside of what you knew before, and embrace something new. And fast forward to when I'm working in the federal government, this year was a huge year of changes. I started in one administration, now I'm in another opposite administration. They had us doing everything one way last year, then all of a sudden at a drop of a hat, no, we're doing it like this now. Change everything. And a lot of my coworkers were overwhelmed. A lot of my coworkers didn't know what to do, or they were angry about it, about people don't like change. But I just follow the instructions, follow the rubric, adapt, be open to new things. It doesn't have to be everything you knew from before. Just understand the assignment, and that has made me really successful today.
I think I had a few of those aha moments along the way. When I transitioned from the employment specialist position at NAMI into the living room, people would walk in crisis. It could be crisis, mental health, substance use, combinations. Phones would ring. Sometimes we were shorthanded. And I remember going into a session with a client, and I sat down, and as soon as I sat down and he started telling me his story, I was like, okay, this is exactly what Andrea was teaching me in class. Here it is. I'm presented with this countertransference or transference. I'm feeling some kind of way because of what he's telling me and his story, and it's bringing up different forms of different traumas. And so being able to navigate that and being able to sit, one thing that College of DuPage gave me, and I remember, Andrea, you told this in our class. You said, we are the sum of all of our life's experiences. So I remembered carrying that into this conversation with this gentleman. And I said, you know what? Let's just pause for a second. Let's just pause. Let's get some water. Let's try to take a few steps back. And just being able to do that with the client and being able to sit with him in that difficult time that he was in and feel uncomfortable for my own self. And it was just an amazing thing to be able to implement everything that I was taught in my classes. It was like, okay, here's that moment that we talked about last 2 semesters ago. And here it is right front and center. Now, how am I going to deal with it? And just learning how to step back from the emotional charges that sometimes we feel and just say, okay, what's the best way to try to help him? Let's just listen to his story. Maybe he just needs someone to listen to. So just being able to have that has just been a tremendous tool that I continue to carry. The motivational interviewing skills you taught us, Andrea, they are second to none. So if anybody hasn't been through that program, it is amazing. Thank you.
I've also had several of these moments. I'll start with one that came out of COD. Dr. Carter is a man of many talents, of course. But so as I was sitting for, the medical school also has like an entrance exam. Okay. I'm thinking about studying for this, whatever. I'm like, okay. Dr. Carter still takes classes. I'm just teasing you, but I'm like, if Dr. Carter can do it, I'm just kidding. He's excellent. But so as I'm sitting there answering these questions, I'm getting bogged down. It's a 6-hour exam. I get to physics and chemistry. These are like two of my most excellent professors from COD that kind of like helped me decide my career path. And so I'm kind of struggling with the biology, the psychology, whatever. And but the physics and the chemistry, once I get there, I'm like, you know what, screw this biology nonsense. I can do this. I'll figure it out one way or another. And so that's something I had a lot of testing anxiety at COD. So I was very worried because it was during COVID. We're being surveilled by, we're being recorded and all these things. So yeah, something that COD helped me work through, and then finally hit me when I was taking that exam. It was like, okay, I learned a lot of things at COD about how to take a test, and it helped me a lot in getting me to where I am today. And that's not super profound. Like it's an exam. Like, okay. Once I've had other moments in my educational career. Since you didn't specify COD, I'll talk about another one, which is at the medical school. This one is one where they train us very early to see patients, and in your first year, in my first month actually, I was already seeing patients. I wasn't providing medical advice, of course, but we learn how to do the physical exam in the first year. So someone has a cardiac issue. All right, I know how to do this. I know what I'm doing now. Like they taught us this, and like, oh, they taught us we would hear this. Oh, now I hear it. Or like I know where to listen to possibly hear this sound, or I know how to help this individual. So yeah, I think the journey that led me to U of I and to the College of Medicine, I think, yeah, very intertwined, and lots of those aha moments along the way.
All right, unfortunately, I apologize. That is all the time that we have for questions. I know I was bad at following where the microphone was going in the crowd, so sorry about that. But I would like to thank you all for being here with us. Congratulations again to our honorees. The college would like to invite you back to campus on the morning of Saturday, October 25th for our Distinguished Alumni Awards. And we would like you all to join us upstairs in the Silver Leaf for some refreshments and pictures after this. But I think that concludes our ceremony for this morning. Thank you all very much.